Hello, everybody. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing today? I am here. I am here. I am here. I am here. Oh my gosh. So, welcome February, right? Can you believe it? It is February. It is the month of love, and I am so excited for this month because guess what? This month's topic is all about self love, building healthy, or I should say healthy and unhealthy relationships, and all about what we can do to build those things into our life through journaling. So before I begin, let me go make sure everybody is here. If you are here and you are watching, be sure to leave a comment for me if you're watching the replay so I know that you're here. And if you are here with me now and you are seeing me and you are hearing me, give me a thumbs up so that I know that you're here and we can get started with today's conversation. This month, I'm really excited because for those of you who don't know, I just celebrated my 10th year wedding anniversary. Isn't that crazy? 10 years? 10 years is a long time. And so my husband and I went away this past weekend without the children, and we actually got to spend some well-needed quality time. So I'm going to get in and tell you guys a little bit about that today. But as I'm here, I'm getting on. Okay, it looks like I'm up and running. So hello to those of you who are joining me here. I'm so glad to see you today on this awesome Tuesday. All right, so this past weekend, I celebrated my 10th year wedding anniversary, and what a celebration it was. We went away, my husband and I went to Maine, and it's the first time we traveled to Maine. And for those of you who have been following along with me on my vision board, you know this year I wanted it to be a year of travel. And do I know how the travel is going to happen? No. Do I know I can afford it or not afford it? I want to travel with my family. I don't know how it's going to happen, but because my awareness is on being able to travel, that is something I'm definitely going to be embracing in every way that I can this year. And so I'm excited that the first travel that I have done this year has been to a new state I haven't been to, which is Maine. So hello, Anita. Thank you. My hair, right? This is what's left of it. I got it done last week in celebration for my anniversary. And so even everybody's surprised by the new look. I really love burgundy, or like this. I'll say burgundy. I like burgundy, but this wasn't the hair color that I was planning to go with, but you know what? It was the best I could do for the color of my hair, and I didn't want to. That's a whole nother video about my hair journey. So let me give you guys just a quick little snippet backdrop to this because I'm talking about my 10th year anniversary. So when I was thinking about getting my hair done for my anniversary, you guys know I have natural hair. So every year around my anniversary, I always decide I'll go ahead and straighten my hair. Thank you for the hearts and thumbs up. I figured I'd go ahead, or I typically will straighten my hair once a year. And it's usually my anniversary because when my husband and I first started dating, my hair was permed. And so every once in a while, I like to just go ahead and straighten it, see the length of it and all that. This is so off topic. But I mention it because being that my hair is colored, woohoo, new year, new me. Yep, take a look. It's kind of like worn out a little bit. It's a few days in now. It's not fresh, but it's still looking all right. Thank you. Hey, Herkins. Hey, guys. So, yeah, when we first got married, I had permed hair. And I want to say maybe, Herkins, you can correct me on this, but very early in our marriage, maybe within the first month or two, I decided to do not the big chop, but I did a chop. And I cut my hair really, really short. I pretty much cut it all off 10 years ago and began this natural hair journey before going natural was a thing. I just knew when I got married and wanted to have children, I wanted to have children and be natural, have a natural birth. And so that me cutting my hair and just beginning the journey of going natural was just part of my desire for when I was going to become a mom. So it was kind of like a shock factor because of course I just got married. My husband has always known me to have long hair, and then as soon as he put a ring on it, I chopped my hair off. So when I was thinking about how our journey began, I called my hairdresser, Barbara, who usually is on these broadcasts with us. And I told her I wanted to get my hair done. Sweet little fact, me and my hairdresser share the same anniversary, February 2nd. So both of us were celebrating our 10-year anniversary this year. And so, hey, Joanne, thank you. So, yeah, when I was thinking about my hair plan, or her idea for this year, I'm like, 10 years, I want to do something different. And I'm looking through pictures on Pinterest, and I just was like, you know what? I've never done a hair color before, and so, you know what? Why not now? 10 years ago, I cut my hair. So this year, I'm going to do something outside of the box, new year, new me, and just go ahead and color it. And so this was the outcome of that. So to say the least, my husband was surprised. Even I'm still surprised that my hair color is like this and that my hair is like this. And then I didn't straighten it when I colored it. I mean, so I'm happy with the results. I'm glad that you guys like it too. Hi, Tiara. Welcome, welcome, you guys. And so this is kind of what it's permanent color. So this is going to be the way it is. So thank goodness it turned out good. But yeah, so this is the new look in celebration of this new chapter of life. Now, today's topic is Mirror, Mirror, do you like what you see? And it's kind of ironic that in celebration of my 10-year, thank you guys for all the thumbs up and the hearts. Hey, hey, hey. Thanks, Tiara. It's ironic that in celebrating my 10th year wedding anniversary, that this month would be also the month of love, and that it would also be a time where I want to share and begin conversations. Stella got her group. Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh my gosh, I'm going to definitely create a blog about the weekend away. Tiara, because for those of you Bachelor Nation, Bachelor fans out there, guilty, a shame plug that I even watched Bachelor, but I do. But I'm telling you, when I went away, it felt like I was on one of those dates from The Bachelor. It was a small town, and you hear the church bells, and the mountains in the backdrop. It was definitely one of those type of trips. And so I'm gonna write a blog about it and share some video about where I stayed. It was just beautiful. But that's not what today's about, guys. Guys, help me stay on focus. Reel it back in. I know it's tough because I'm only on Tuesdays now. We don't have the Thursday and the 2 times to fill it all in. But yeah, let me get to today's topic for you guys, please. Okay, so being that it's the month of love, and then it's my 10-year anniversary, Herkins and I are actually going to do an awesome event this month, and it's called The Story of Us, and it's Q&A with Herkins and Latonia, and we're actually going to share our journey of being married. So we've been married for 10 years, but we have been together for 17 years. Oh my gosh, yes, 7 years we dated before we got married. And that journey has definitely had its fair share of ups and downs. Can you imagine being married to your high school sweetheart? Well, let me tell you, he wasn't my sweetheart in high school. That's just something we could say now. But it wasn't always so nice. And so check out or stay connected with me. I'm going to have a date for the event. It may potentially be next week that I'll have the event. It'll be live in person for those of you who are local. Friday night that Herkins and I will be having this event for relationships and talking about self-love and sharing our journey in a way that you guys can ask us questions about it. This is a first for us to share our relationships, but at this 10-year mark in this month of love and the topic that I'm talking on this month, why not? So for those of you who aren't local, don't worry, I am going to record it, so it will be up for replay for you guys to watch, hopefully within 72 hours of me hosting the event. Okay, guys? So, oh man. So this topic about mirror, mirror, do you like what you see? Looking at the comments, yeah, Anita's saying, wow, and then Herkins is saying, oh yeah, I can hear your voice in my head. But talking about today's topic on self-love, questions for you. Does your reflection excite you when you look in the mirror? Are you proud of who you are and the person that you've become today? Do you love the life you have designed for yourself? Do you experience self-love in ways that you desire? So I have talked about this topic of self-love before. And what self-love is, what it is not is you being selfish. That is not what self-love is. Self-love is basically your decision to make yourself a priority so that you can fully come to love and embrace the skin that you in the way that you are without needing that love or desire from someone else. That's what self-love is at the very general in a very general understanding of it. And I'm going to be talking about it this month in regards to relationships. And I'll share with you pieces of my journey really briefly in these broadcasts and then more in the event that's coming up on how self-love really impacts your ability to be in relationships with others, whether they be romantically or just in friendships in general. And so when it comes to relationships, the first person you need to know is not who you're going to date or who you're going to marry. The first person you need to learn to love when it comes to relationship actually starts with you. And the reason I say this is because in a lot of my workshops and a lot of the retreats I've gone to over the years, most of the time I go as a facilitator, or I'm the one facilitating. But even in the events where I go to and I am an attendee, the same underlying experiences occur where there are women, mostly these are women events that I'm going to, where I see the lack of confidence and I see the lack of self-love that exists even when a woman looks her best. Many times underneath the surface of the makeup or underneath the surface of the confidence that's portrayed is a woman who is hurting behind closed doors, and it usually comes out in an intimate space like retreats or events that make you look at your own reflection for what it is. And when it comes to self-love and when you're looking for relationships, you may not realize the things that you deal with behind closed doors are the things that end up being a part of your relationships if you do not care for yourself and tend to the needs of your heart, the pains of your past. If you don't heal from what you've experienced, those end up being bags that you carry into your friendships. Those end up being bags that you carry into your relationships. And although you may not see their impact on the surface level, they will show up over time because things grow. And when the roots are under the ground, you don't see them. But when things begin to grow, the head comes up and you see the tree and you start to see the branches, and those things embed themselves into relationships later on if they're not weeded out early. That makes sense to you guys? So I'm mentioning this stuff because when you make a decision to choose to begin a journey of self-love, which is what you ultimately must do, when it comes to self-love. How do you begin self-love, or how do you begin to build your confidence, or how do you begin to overcome doubt? It starts with a decision. Self-love isn't something that just, oh, it's going to happen, or you can find love from other people, but people are going to give you what they want to give you. It's not always what you need. And if you haven't taken the time, taken your own journey to work on yourself, your healing, and getting yourself to a place of freedom where you love what you see, you'll continue to live your life accepting what other people are giving to you. And that's not necessarily a good thing. And so this is why I wanted to start this month with self-love, because it is the ideal first step for where you can begin to prepare yourself to have relationships in the future that complete you and don't deplete you, that complete you and that empower you, make you stronger, not complete you in a way where you're depleting someone else because you're needing them to fill the holes in your heart rather than you filling your own holes in your heart and in your life so that you can become a better person. So let me share with you this scenario. So growing up, I used to be full of life the way that I am now, actually. Thank you guys for the hearts and thumbs up. This makes sense, right? I used to be full of life the way that I am now. Doing my hair, wearing makeup, and I've shared this with you guys before who've been watching along with my videos. I used to love ring watches. I used to like buying nice coats and clothes, and I literally used to keep a clothes diary. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm gonna have to one time just go through a little mini behind the scenes of my journals. But in high school, I used to keep a clothes diary. So every single day I would write out my outfits, I would write out my accessories to make sure, because we had means, but sometimes, you can't always wear new things. Let me put it that way. So what I would do is I'd keep this journal to basically make sure I was properly recycling my clothes, my wardrobe, and keeping track of the things I really liked and putting new spins on things that I really liked so I can wear it in a different way. I really used to be into just loving myself and being able to just share that passion for fashion with others. And so I'd go to school and, I'd show people my ring watches and this and that and this. And that was just the way it was. And then my mom and my parents, they did the best that they could, providing me and my siblings with the best that they could for us. So we always generally had nice things. And as much and as great as that sounded, there came a point in my life where those aspects of joy turned into aspects of hurt for me, because what would happen is the more people gravitated towards me for my things, my friends or people around me began to hate me for my things, or I would be misunderstood because I'd be so into the things that I had, and it was just my outlet to express who I was. So people would, or sometimes it would be friends, sometimes it would even be family, where people would be jealous or hate me because of what I had. And I would feel really down about it, I guess, to the point where I would stop wearing makeup, or I would stop dressing a certain way because I didn't want people to think that I was trying to be better than them, or I didn't want people to talk about me, talk about the stuff that I had that they didn't like. I just didn't want them to judge me for reasons that I didn't agree with. And so what I began to do was pull back on my joy, pull back on being happy all the time. Because, why is she happy all the time? I would just be hated. Hated for my happiness, hated for the way I looked, hated for the things I had because people thought I was better. All these things used to just come at me from friends, from family, and I just began to just put up walls and just try to make myself invisible so that no one would have anything negative to say about me. And so as a result of that, I lost confidence in myself, and I also, my self-esteem kind of became distorted because I no longer knew how to be accepted. And my life shifted from loving who I am to looking for love from all the wrong places in order for me to love who I am. I shifted my love from being a self-driven thing to a external driven thing. You see what I mean there? And so I end up living my life looking for love and attention to be accepted from others. And I pretty much lived my life that way from high school on out. This is why now, how old am I? I don't even know how old, I'm 35. I am literally now starting to get back to that person I used to be 3 years ago when I started this journey of journaling. Coloring my hair, dressing nice, beginning to learn how to wear makeup. I missed that whole piece of my life because I was hiding myself behind masks, putting a smile on. And in the background of my life, I was depressed and feeling unloved, rejected by those around me. And it changed the way I looked at relationships. It changed the way I looked at love. Love became something that I felt like I had to change myself and become something else in order to receive love. And so that's how the journey began. And that's just one thing, right? I have so many stories, guys. So outside of that, I had a best friend who was beautiful during high school as well. And so because of her and me being her best friend, all the guys loved her. And so me starting to step back and seeing all the guys love her, wanting to be my friend to get to her, it just only contributed to how I felt about myself. Like, oh, okay, guys don't even like me because I don't have the big boobs, I don't have the curves, I don't have the look that they see in her. And they were pretty much being my friend to get to her. And so I was pretty much, everything was just depleting any self-respect for myself, and my insecurities were just blown all out of proportion. And so all of these different things, this is just a few things I'm mentioning to you guys, but when you think about your life, what things in your past have impacted your own ability to love the way you look, love the skin that you're in, and accept love? I just mentioned a few things, but how about when it comes to giving love? How do you give love? So because my perception of love had been so distorted, when it came to accepting love, that was really hard for me because I didn't believe it or trust it because of that relationship with my friend and how guys treated her, and she had been hurt so many times by so many different guys in so many relationships that I told myself I don't ever want that, and I put walls up. So here I was with a poor perception of love, feeling rejected, and my self-esteem being low because I was hiding who I was, didn't think I was good enough. Then my perception of guys were they all suck, so I don't want any of these guys to see me or like me because I don't want them to hurt me. So if any guy came around me who actually liked me, my walls were up. And I wasn't in a place where I was even know how to accept love from them because their love just looked like a physical thing. So I didn't even have an understanding of what love could be like from a man. The only man in my life that really showed me what love really looked like was my dad, thankfully. But how many of you haven't grown up with a dad or a father to see what a positive depiction of love was? So because of my father, I knew what love looked like. But because of my friend, I saw what the type of love was being given through the broken relationships of the distorted view of love that I saw from my friends being hurt by guys constantly, over and over. And my whole perception of love had been warped. Now, I'm able to talk about this because I've decided to go on a journey of figuring out how to change my perception of love when I realized that my depression was becoming so prevalent in my life that I needed to make a change. And because my decision to make that change, that is when I began to focus on me, and all of these things from my past began to come up in that journey in a way that I was able to change and transform positively. Because can you imagine, I've been married for 10 years now. And what did I tell you guys? Only now am I beginning to fully embrace and love who I am. So yes, I got married to an awesome, awesome man. Because I didn't tell you guys this, but I had a whole situation where I even got cheated on by a guy. And I was like, but that's a whole nother story, which Herkins and I will talk to during our event when we do our night of the story of us. But because of my understanding of what love looked like, Herkins fought his way in. And if there's one thing I want to share in this video that my mom taught me, if you are chasing a man, you will be chasing him forever. But if a man chases you, he's the one to keep. And this is the only reason. I mean, there are many reasons, but this was one of the most prevalent reasons in my mind that kept Herkins in the picture. And we'll talk more about that during our event, but Herkins didn't give up on me all throughout the years where I pushed him and pushed him and pushed him away, not because of who he was, but because of how I felt about myself. And so today I want to encourage you guys, for those who are thinking about relationships, where you stand in your life. And yes, you may have thought I was going to get into, how to look for love, how do you find the right guy, and self-love. What does self-love have to do with relationships? Self-love has everything to do with relationships. Because if you haven't first learned how to love yourself, you will not know how to find the love that you need from others in a way that's going to support you, in a way that's going to make you a better person, in a way that will not hurt you, because you'll recognize those things that you no longer can tolerate anymore. You won't just accept any type of love anybody's giving to you, because you have found love for yourself. And in order for that to happen, self-love has to happen. And I want to encourage you. Thank you guys for the hearts and the thumbs up. Hey, Chinky Milford, nice to see you here. But I want to encourage you guys. This month is all about the You're Worth Writing For journal. Each and every day, I had to write words that I needed to hear on this journey in which I decided to choose myself and focus on myself so that I could be a better person for me and those around me. And so that's what this You're Worth Writing For journal is about. And in here on every single page, there's a word of affirmation to encourage you on your own journey. And so this is actually the journal that I'll be talking about throughout this month. And it's the journal that I'm going to get started using, because over the last few months I've been in the Choose Happiness journal. But actually out of that Choose Happiness journey, Actually, let me just grab this piece of paper. This month, out of that Choose Happiness journey, this month I am focusing on day 14 and day 22. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Those are the 2 days out of the Choose Happiness journey that I'm focusing on. Self-love, or it's not called self-love, it's just called love. So it's day 14 and day 22, making yourself a priority. And all of this is going to lead back to the Choose Happiness Challenge. Right now we're going into self-love and You're Worth Writing for a Journal, but this is going to lead us back to the Choose Happiness Journal Challenge, because what did we just do, guys? We just made our vision boards, right? And yes, it's good to dream. Yes, it's good to believe in yourself. But how can you believe in yourself if you don't know yourself, and if you don't love yourself, and if you don't trust your ability to achieve things? Self-love builds confidence around insecurities. Self-love builds trust that prevents keeping relationships in the friend zone. So I'm going to be talking about that next week. And then self-love allows forgiveness of those things that happened in your past to happen. And this all has to start with writing, journaling. There's no special activities with self-love. There are, but in order for you to begin that journey, you have to start with just writing. And so every single broadcast this month is going to be focused on journal writing and expressing your thoughts around relationships and self-love in order for you to grow in this area of your life. Okay? So for the journaling prompt that I have for you today, I want you to find some time and space in your week to sit down and really think about everything that I talked about in this broadcast. How has your past impacted your ability to love, be loved, and accept love? What is your relationship with love? How has it changed over the last few years or over the course of your life? I want to give you a journaling prompt for you to do this week. I want you to spend time thinking about today's topic, which is called Mirror, Mirror, Do You Like What You See? Spend 20 minutes today writing about 10 things that you love about yourself while looking at yourself in a mirror. This may come easy for you. This may be difficult for you, but I want you to spend 20 minutes or more time writing about 10 things you absolutely love about yourself. And for every negative thought that comes to your mind, I want you to write it down. And for every negative thought you write down, I want you to put a positive thought that challenges it. This is going to be a practice that you'll start today, but I want you to continue it throughout this month, because self-love is a journey that will unfold. It will become easier with time. But the more you can notice or pinpoint the things that you love about yourself, and you can take control or note of those negative thoughts that you hear when you try to speak positive, that's going to allow you to understand what is at the root of those things that hold you back from growing your relationship with love in your life. Does that make sense to you guys? This month is all about journal writing and expressing what love means to you. And so that is my journal prompt for you today. I made a choice, and this is the solution. This is how you conquer self-love. It starts with time spent journaling, because you can't rely on someone else for your love. You can't rely on someone else to do this love thing for you. You're supposed to be the person who completes someone else. that means you're whole. So you're whole and the other person's whole makes a complete whole. You can't come to the table with baggage. Come to the table with life and life abundantly, right? So I made a choice to start loving myself more than what others said about me from my past. And for everything that I hated, I began to challenge those thoughts by changing the people around me. I began to set boundaries on relationships that hurt me until I could feel that I got to a place where I was strong enough to stand up for myself. And I started to build confidence by removing myself from situations that hurt me in order for me to focus on me and understand what the good is about me that's worth fighting for. Do these things that I do make me feel valued? Do these things that I do allow me to realize my worth? And so that is pretty much where my journey began. Okay, guys, so does this make sense to you all? Does it make sense? Yay! So, Joanne, I hear you saying yes, true. Anita, yes, they do. Wow, that is awesome. Thank you, guys. This is deep, right? It always is. That's what journaling is about. But this is the beginning of a journey for you to begin to. Thank you guys for all the hearts and all the loves. But this is how this journey of self-love begins. It's not a get quick rich scheme. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. It's just a continual process that you can build for yourself through your writing to start to take note of those things that you need to deal with from your past in order to prepare you for new friendships and romantic relationships with somebody who's going to complete you and not deplete you. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed the broadcast for today. I know I did. I'm excited about this month because I get to do stuff with my hubby. And so next week, I'll be posting up the topic. But next week is also, I'll have dates for when the live event will be for Herkins and I to empower you guys with wisdom from our marriage and our 7 years of dating, the ups and downs and all that we've kind of gone through over the last 10 years of marriage and 17 years of togetherness. Boy, do we got a lot to say. So come with your questions, okay, guys? Let me see. Do I have any closing remarks? When you love what you do, you don't need to depend on love from someone else. Right. You will know your worth. And so the featured journal for this month is the You're Worth Writing For journal. It's the one I shared in today's broadcast. And actually, I am going to do something special for you guys. So for those of you who are interested in this journal, I have an exclusive deal. I'm actually going to give you guys 25% off this month on this journal so that you can get it in your hands and let this journal be your tool of empowerment on your journey of building self-love. Because believe me, you're going to need this not only for self-love, but for building your dreams. Everything you put on that Choose Happiness vision board, this journal is what I'm going to be using to start bringing those goals and dreams to life, because I'm not only going to need encouragement in this area of self-love, but I'm also going to need to feel empowered when it comes to carrying out these goals and dreams that totally push me outside of my comfort zone. And in order for me to do that, I have to be confident in who I am. I have to love what I've decided to do for myself in order for me to achieve those goals and dreams. So I'm going to put a link up so you can get on the email list to get your 25% off discount code. That'll be up with this video. 25% off discount code will be in your inbox just as soon as you get on the list. Okay, guys? So how does that sound? How does, like, saving some money sound to you, right? Anita saying, Joanne saying eye opener. Anita saying great inspiration. Thank you. Woo, woo, woo. Awesome. Okay, guys. Hope you have a wonderful Tuesday. Thanks for watching. So for all of you exclusive broadcast watchers, you will get the discount exclusively for you just for being here with me today. Okay, so check out for the link with the video so you can go grab your discount code. Okay, see you guys for the next Tip Tuesday broadcast. Have a wonderful day. Mwah. Thank you for the hearts and thank you for the thumbs up. Bye.